Get out of my dreams.
I don't dream
Get
anymore.
into my car. Oh, okay.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Gauntlet, where we go everything esports news. I'm your host, Captain Zeus, followed by my lovely co-hosts JT and Novaburst. And we got ourselves the results from the Overwatch League's Week 2 playoff matches. Now, there is not that many matches because only 6 of them happened, because it was literally just, the final whatever teams. And yeah, a lot of good matches. We're going to start off with the Asian or APAC region.
Asian.
So,
That's all what it is.
Yeah. First matchup that happened, we had Shanghai. Well, actually, it was New York versus Guangzhou, but we're going to start with the Shanghai Seoul.
Hey.
I want to start with that one. It's a lot spicier. Shanghai.
Always spicy.
Yeah. No. Shanghai versus Seoul, game 5. It was the juice, the spice. Everything not so nice. Game 5, but Shanghai took it 3-2. I like it. I mean, we kind of saw it coming, to be honest. That's usually a pretty good matchup when Seoul, shows up. But,
I'm very disappointed in Seoul.
And why exactly?
They should have got 3-0'd by Shanghai.
Nani?
And then 3-0'd New York. And then it would continue their balancing act. But this game 5 doesn't work for me.
Wow.
It throws off your yin-yang, vibe here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for that reason, I'm out.
You're out? You're done?
I'm out with Seoul.
Okay.
Very unfortunate. But we all saw Shanghai winning this one, obviously. And game 5, it kind of does make sense. We've seen Seoul definitely stepping it up in this tournament. And even we saw Shanghai whenever they played New York. I mean, they at least took it to a game 4. So, going to a game 5, it makes sense. It makes sense. But Seoul, I don't think they have the exact weapons to stop Shanghai, especially Fleta. I mean, that's why they have a whole meta about Fleta meta. But yeah, I mean, Shanghai, they're just cruising in this tournament, to be honest, and they know when they need to flip the switch. They know what to do.
Agreed completely. Also, speaking of the Fleta meta, congrats Fleta on the 2020 MVP.
Congrats.
That is,
The
expected.
Fleta meta.
It is the Fleta meta.
It is the Fleta
meta. Anyways, loser brackets. We had New York 3-0 Guangzhou. I personally am disappointed in that. I was hoping.
So disappointed.
I was hoping Guangzhou was, not going to be, wimps
Garbage.
and actually put up a fight.
I've been telling you all year.
Okay, calm down. They were actually pretty spiced coming up into the
They
tournament.
didn't even win a game.
I can't argue with that logic. That's a correct assessment.
And then
Yeah.
New York lost to the second best team.
We'll go into that later. Let's
No,
handle this.
we're talking about that now.
But hey, Nova has something to say here about his poor charge.
I mean, you couldn't. If
Can we
you
replace him
Googled up choke, I mean, you would see Guangzhou charge, because I mean,
See a lot of teams.
that is just choking. Well, I mean, when you lose complete, like 0, like don't even take a map, even though you have been doing fantastic in the previous tournaments and in the regular season. I mean, that's just embarrassing. I mean, I understand you're playing against Seoul and their tournament prime mode, but maybe take a game off, and then you're going against New York, who basically, I mean, that should be a great game right there. That
beat
should be
them
another
multiple
game.
times.
That should be a game 5, basically, you would imagine. And no, they just get curb stomped, and
Really bad.
I don't know what to say. I mean, New York, obviously, they really want it. They're fighting for it. Obviously, in the next game they play, they
Listen,
didn't want it enough.
this is the furthest they've ever been. They're pretty satisfied. They can. I called them. I said, "Hey, listen, guys, you made a good effort. Now let's pull a Dallas and get rid of all your players and move on."
Oh God.
So we're gonna go ahead and go to that match that was bad, to be honest.
We're replacing everyone but Haskell.
So New York got 3-0'd by Seoul. Just for reference, this was an extremely scrappy battle. Like, it was messy. It was all over the place. people are getting hacked in the middle of their hacks and EMPing people. It was nasty. It was a brawl.
New York's fault. New York does not thrive in that situation.
No, as the score has shown.
They should not okay. It's coaching fault. They should not allow after game 1 they should have been like, "Hey guys, let's just not do that and we win."
Let's just switch it up.
Cuz come on, New York. Your game plan is like, "All right, let's play together and be perfectly executed." Not, "Let's go duel some of the best duelists in the middle of the map just for funsies." Like,
I need to prove myself.
I'm the best. Haskell's over there trying to 1v1 the team. He's like, "All right, guys, come at me one at a time."
I saw Decay. I know what to do.
Yeah, and we'll get to that, but
Oh, yeah.
honestly, so they know what was up. They just lost to Shanghai, and they're like, no, we're gonna bring it back, and we're gonna show Shanghai why Seoul should be winning the Asian region right here. And yeah, that's why we're getting the Shanghai and Seoul moving on to the grand finals. So
congrats to our top 2 teams in the Asian region going on to the grand finals. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I'm depressed New York didn't make it, but it's all right.
Hey, I got 2 teams going in. I'm liking this. APAC, y'all doing me good. Now, we're going to flip-flop over to the NA side of things. Now, we had a couple of matches to kind of go into them quarter and semis. We had Florida up against Atlanta and Washington versus against, LA Valiant. These weren't that interesting, to be honest. Florida won 3-0. And
everyone called this.
Yeah, everyone called this.
Yeah,
and Washington won 3-1, which is literally how we all saw it coming.
Well, I thought Valiant would at least put some freaking effort. I thought
literally all of us saw it coming.
I
told you that
we would realize that Justice was just pulling magic out of nowhere, and they were just getting that rabbit's foot or something. But obviously, yeah, LAV. I mean, I guess that's another.
My argument holds strong.
Congratulations to both of y'all for choosing Washington.
The best team in the league had trouble with Washington. Like, no way LAV has a shot at taking them. Like, Decay was on a tear.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, it's disappointing to see Valiant. They took a map off. It's something. They showed that they had some fight in them. It's more than what Atlanta did to Florida. But,
I knew and a fan. There was a 0% chance we took a map.
I didn't expect Atlanta to do anything. I thought they were just going to roll over.
And they did. Surprised they showed up, honestly.
Yeah.
I was, a little part of me, though, wanted Valiant to beat Washington. Just a little part of me wanted it to happen. But it's expected to see that.
I thought it would be the right thing to do. And then we get a Florida Valiant battle. That one would have been more exciting.
That would have been hype, because that's like a rematch.
I can't think of 2 teams I would much rather not see. Those are like the teams I would hate to see play.
You just don't like any teams that I back.
Just those 2 teams in particular.
In this situation,
we got you.
Yeah. So we're gonna move over to the winners bracket. We had Philadelphia and San Francisco battle it out once again. Titans clashing, sparks flying, bullets going everywhere, and San Francisco, not so shockingly, wins 3-1 against Philadelphia.
I mean, I called it. San Francisco championship pedigree. They know what to do. I still love Philadelphia. They had a great regular season, but just San Francisco, they're like, we know how to play this game. We know how to do it efficiently, and we know how to win. So
I'm so excited because I want the grand finals to be San Francisco Philly, and I want Philly to finally win it when it all matters.
So honestly, that match, I was hoping Philly was going to win just for prediction's sake. They could have. In this whole weekend, there was a lot of, from what it seemed, coaching issues where they would have people on compositions, and even though they're losing, they keep them on those compositions. San Francisco has been the only team I've seen so far that actually switched it up and tried to change it on them. Philly does it later, but they kind of
They
did it
did
a little too late.
Yeah, they did it way too late. They were just stuck on comps that weren't working.
Exactly.
And just getting ground up.
It's and you've seen it all season, which was extremely irritating as a viewer and as a fan, that you just see them lose on something over and over, and then they don't change it, and it's all on coaching there. Like the players, they can only do what they're told in that situation. Like, we're gonna practice this comp, and this is what we're playing in the tournament. San Francisco's like, oh, we got backup plans on backup plans on backup plans, and that's why they won that. It was the better team won in that scenario.
The problem right now with Overwatch and the coaches is all the coaches are like, all right, this is the meta and this is what's best. But what they're not like taking into consideration is what is best for my players. Like, what good is it to have a New York who is super good at, creating executes and playing that tank lineup if you're just going to play dive? Like, that's your weakness. Don't scrap in the middle of the map. Just stay in a death ball and kill everyone. That's what you're good at.
Especially when there's no hero bans.
Yeah, stop trying to be something you're not, just because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
The team that did it the best was Hunters. They just did what they were good at and wrecked people doing it.
And then going over to the losers, and speaking of Washington as usual showing up with that Zarya something. That Zarya gameplay with Decay is always just sick nasty to watch.
Just carry Zarya.
It's yeah, basically. And we actually this weekend we saw Stitch and Jejanu and Tuba actually show up this weekend. I guess they heard us talk about them last weekend where they were quiet. So this weekend we saw some plays coming out of them, and it was pretty good. Washington 3-0'd Florida. I was hoping that would be a little bit more of a fight, like a 3-1, 3-2 possibly, but it's hard to stop something it's hard to stop the hype train, to be honest. When you're on such a roll, coming off on an unbelievable run, beating all the odds, ruining everyone's bracket, it's hard to stop that.
At this point in the bracket, I've been pretty standoffish for Washington. The first time all year, I was like, maybe they'll do it. And then they dashed my hopes.
They went ski, broke their own ankles.
So I just can't root for any team, is what I've decided.
You're not allowed to. And then loser bracket finals, because Philly lost against San Fran and Washington won against Florida. It was Washington v. Philly. Now, unfortunately, this ended in a 3-0 victory for Philadelphia. I mean, congrats to them. They showed up. And I think they were the only other team to really shut down their Decay Zarya comp, because then you see them switch off of it. Like, they had to switch up to like a Roadhog, which Decay looked like wasn't too comfortable on Roadhog as it was. He was missing his hooks, or wasn't timing anything properly. Like, they really got caught off guard by Philly and their comps.
What's so sad about this is, the princess turned back into just a normal maid because the clock struck midnight, and Decay went from Superman.
Is this Cinderella? Wait, Superman?
He went from Superman to Bruce Wayne. I don't know.
What?
Hate Superman to Batman. What?
So it's a Cinderella story. When the clock strikes midnight, he goes from Superman to Bruce Wayne. That's how it happened,
crazy,
ladies and gentlemen.
I was trying to relate it to YouTube, but I don't know anything.
God, that was so bad.
But yeah, Decay went back to normal Decay, and his career started to decay a little bit. So unfortunate.
Nah, this is like perfect. That's like the
That man
cherry
needs a bonus.
on the top. What just happened?
What's up?
Okay, never mind. I was tripping out. But nah, this is the cherry on top. Chef kiss right there. Perfect. Because everyone, cheering on the underdog. Go Washington. We got this. You guys are awesome. And then you get to the final boss, man.
Dad smacks you in the face.
And that final boss ain't taking nothing for you. Like, they don't care who you are. They don't care what predicate you got. They're going to shut you down.
It was kids against Anakin Skywalker. That's what this was.
They didn't care who Washington beat. They didn't care when they beat Florida, LAV, because Philadelphia, I feel like they had more determination to, hey, we need to get back and fight against San Fran again. against Washington, who was kind of just like, oh, we're winning. Okay, I guess,
I guess
maybe
we're
we
still
do
in
have a
this.
shot. Yeah, we're still in it. Maybe we do have a shot compared to Philadelphia, who was like, no, we need to get back there. We got to fight for that championship. And that's why Philadelphia kicked them in the teeth, man. And that makes sense.
Philadelphia is like the dad. He showed up. He's like, all right, it's time for bed, Washington.
No, Dad, I won't.
Brush your teeth.
Smart.
Don't talk back to me, Decay.
So the thing is, if San Francisco would have lost, I feel like I think we all agreed on this. Washington would have beaten them, or it was a high possibility that Washington would have beaten them.
Washington would have
No.
That's what I said. If San Francisco would have lost, Washington probably would have beaten them.
Yes, I agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
They went to Game 5 previously, up in the first round, and they've had such a good win streak. It's a plausible situation. And then we all said when if Philly lost, win against Washington, it would be Washington. Yeah, it was gonna be.
I knew when they went up against Philadelphia, I was like, there is no shot. There is no shot. Because they're in the winner's side.
He dang straight.
We did it.
We did it, boys.
No, Washington was going to go to bed no matter who they were going up against, to be honest. So,
okay, whatever you say there, stepson.
Yeah, you're adopted.
Congrats, San Francisco and Philadelphia, on winning your respective matches and moving on to the grand finals. And the grand finals will be happening in Korea. So these 4 teams
for now,
going all the way to for now until it gets canceled. We'll go all the way to Korea and fight IRL. In a good old brawling match.
They actually will be given boxing gloves.
They will. It's confirmed at this point.
I've heard some players are stuffing their gloves with rocks. So
I heard others are just not showing up. They're not getting paid enough for it.
Play a video game, and Blizzard's not even giving us enough to eat.
We don't even have a place to stay. We're just in Korea right now.
Help!
just in Korea, just
in there. Yeah.
We need an adult.
So the grand finals will be happening in October. You'll be seeing a prediction video probably within the next week or so, just in case something shaky doesn't happen. But that's going to wrap it up here. Check out our top plays from this previous week. It'll pop up somewhere if it hasn't already. And then let us know in the comments, what your thoughts were on this weekend and how you think the grand finals will go. I'm Captain Zeus. That's Novaburst and JT, and we will see you guys on the flip side. See ya.
See ya. See ya. See ya.
Okay.
See ya.